Techno Electric, that is a stock that has been buzzing in trade. It's up almost 2%, and specifically today, after they have won an order which is of around 1,750 crores order, is what they have won. Transmission orders of around 700 crores, while advance metering infrastructure order is of around 1,041 crores. So yes, on the back of this order win, we're seeing the stock is buzzing in trade. But to talk more about that, we're joined by Mr. P.P. Gupta, MD at Techno Electric and Engineering, joining in with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for joining in with us this afternoon. And firstly, a very happy New Year to you as well. So let's talk about the order win on the first day of the year. The company has won. A significant order that has come in. What is the execution period for this order win? If you'd give us an outlook in terms of that.
It is about 1.5 to 2 years on an average. And all these orders are extremely prestigious and very futuristic in terms of technology, solution deployed, and all are linked to renewable power as well as improving our losses in the T&D segments, and they are state-of-the-art solutions.
Right. Sir, what I also want to know is, when I'm looking at in terms of your revenue, in the last 1 year, we have surely seen a very sharp increase in terms of your revenues. Q2 FY23, 186 crores versus Q2 FY24, that was at 462 crores. What is the revenue growth rate that you're expecting from the company? Also, in terms of order book, how is that looking like as well?
You see, we are really excited, and this is the first year when our top line is likely to be double of last year. 100% growth this year will happen. So will be our order backlog, which we always never experienced more than 2 to 2,500 crore in the past. This year we should close with the order backlog of almost 5,000 CR. And next year, we are likely to see another growth of another 30%. And I'm sure by 26 March, we will be at a top line of 3,000 crore plus and a bottom line of around almost 500 CR, about 50 EPS.
Okay. Sir, recently post the Q2 result, you had upped your guidance to around 1,600 to 1,800 crore rupees for FY24. Given that you have been winning strong orders, the execution has been strong, any chances of upping this guidance further?
No, these orders will, takes about 3 to 5 months as a ground preparatory work, engineering, detailing, element procurements and all that. By the time we can really report any progress as a work happening in the field, it takes about 6 months to start with. So this will all be resulting in a top line impact next year.
Smart metering space, if we see the competitive intensity or actually the number of players in this space has been increasing. So how is the competitive intensity? Are you seeing increased competitive intensity given that the number of players have increased in this space?
You see, in India, competition in power sector has always been there, being low entry barriers or more expectations as a happening sector. But I will say the serious competition per se in a segment like 765 kV or smart meter is not very high. And it's not possible for anybody and everybody to be part of this segment. Lower segments, yes, there are more players in 220 kV or even somewhat in 400 kV. But 765 kV, Techno Electric has a market share of more than 50-60% in this space.
Okay. So you have a cash of around 1,500 crore rupees on its book. How are you looking to utilize it given the fact that your operating cash flows are pretty strong?
Yeah, you see, the cash is king and it facilitates your timely execution of the projects and all suppliers delight. We can meet our commitments in time. So all this facilitates in a multiple ways, in adding value to the operations of the company as well as to the bottom line in terms of the savings apart from treasury income, which we earn out of this cash. So cash gives you strength to grow, and this is what is going to be more visible because more and more solutions as going forward are becoming capex to opex, which merit lies with Techno against many other companies in the market.
So the civil work, from what I understand, is that the civil work of the 24 megawatt data center was already completed. By when do you expect to commission this data center, and what is the kind of revenue potential that one can expect?
You see, this data center is a unique solution in itself because, in my perspective, a data center is nothing but a captive power plant of a IT infra. And even these solutions are designated in megawatt terms. So ultimately, many people any emerging or promising area of solution, but ultimately I trust 90% operating cost is power. So the power experienced or knowledge companies will survive or earn better bottom lines than any other entity in this market. Number one. Number two, our first phase of this project will be commissioned by Marchant, and all four phases. This project is happening in four phases, and all four phases will be completed by March 25.
Right. Lastly, just before we let you go, I want to know what is your order book at currently. In November, I believe it was around at 4,300 crores. Now, what is the order book like? What is it shaping up now?
I think presently our order book earlier was about 3,500 CR as of September end, which presently now will come to about 5,000 CR, out of which we will be executing about 1,000 CR in this quarter and the coming quarter. So, and we are expecting another order inflow of no less than 1,500 CR in very near future, where we are placed L1 with most of the utilities. So all put together, we should close the year with the order backlog of 5,000 or 5,500 CR after achieving a top line of almost 1,800 CR this year.
Okay, Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for joining in with us and giving us those details in terms of the new order and where do you see the order book as well as the growth in terms of revenue as well. For the year end, we could expect the revenues to be at around 1,800 crores in the top line, while in terms of the order book at around 5,500 crores is what we could expect that for the company. Thank you so much. That was the management of Techno Electric Engineering joining in with us this afternoon.